more can I say?
Top Billin. All right, all my top Billin villains, let's get into a little bit of strategy for this upcoming Commanders game. Listen, before that though, you already know this video is sponsored by the great folks over at BetUS. Now, Jayden Daniels, we're going to talk about him in a strategy that I call boxing one. Obviously, I don't know if the Philadelphia Eagles will implement something like this. This is just for me trying to talk to the smarter fans and getting feedback on how you guys would try to defend a weapon like Jayden Daniels. I said it before, right? There's nobody on here that has something dating back to this man transferring from when he was at Arizona State transferring and calling him elite when everybody thought he sucked. That would be me. I believe in this kid wholeheartedly. I did not know he would end up a Washington Commander, so obviously that sucks there for us, having to defend this guy for the next however many years. But we trek on. Jayden Daniels is going to get his. You just need to make sure that he has turnovers and he gets body blows in the form of sacks and hits. Now, how do you do that? I thought the Philadelphia Eagles did a good job of this. You're going to take wide rush lanes. You're going to only really want to rush like this if you're an in man on the line of scrimmage. You want to box him in. The strategy of box in one, meaning box him in, force him to have to make plays going this way into traffic, or force him to really think about something, right? I want to see a little bit more plaster here. A little bit more plaster, meaning man coverage, to force these guys to not be open as quick, because if he's throwing a ball in the middle of the field, he's had trouble. I think all of his interceptions against the Philadelphia Eagles, which has done the best against him if you think about it, have come in the – yep, look at this. So pretty much plaster. Nobody's open right away. You want to definitely make sure you take care of that, right? Not as much zone, right? Or if it's going to be – zone, you're going to take away a little bit of the space and kind of convert it into man there, right, on the fly there. So you see what happens? You get the wide rush from Josh Sweat here, and from, I think this might actually be Brandon Graham, both rushing this way. He wants to escape to his right, and he does that, but except Brandon Graham takes a wide angle as well, and look at that. You see that right there? Throws the ball back over across the middle. Jakob. Or not Jakob if you hit him right there. So great job of implementing that right there as far as the box goes. Trying to influence him to throw the ball in the middle of the field. Think about this right here. You're going to see this outside leverage from both exterior corners, really trying to funnel everything to the inside. If he can throw the ball outside the numbers, he's nasty with it. He's going to be nasty with it. He's going to be nasty eventually on the inside, right? Or even in between the pipes, between the hash, the stitches, and everything like that as well. But at this particular point in time in this development, you would rather him do that than to be able to throw the ball outside the numbers there. So if you can see the results of this, keep in mind, this is going to be mixed coverage. You're not going to always go to this, or what I'm going to talk about here in a little bit as well. You're going to want to mix it up on a cat like Jayden Daniels. You keep doing the same thing, he's going to eventually get you. So you want to give him a lot of different looks. But this one combines the both. Get that outside leverage here by the corners, outside leverage here, and you get the box in one with the wide rush from both Nolan Smith and Josh Sweat right here. And you force him to go down the pipes. You can see the communication between Zach Bond here, right? Zach Bond with Reed Blankenship. And you're going to see them really take away this portion of the field. And that's exactly where your boys, which would be Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith is that bull. I'm telling you that right now. That man has a dedicated spot on certain downs for Jayden Daniels, especially with him being boxed in. How do you get around that? If you got that coverage on the back end, you're boxing him in the way he can't. And you know who implemented something like that? That would be Nolan's former team, the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, if I'm talking about this team, you know something that's going wrong, because everybody who knows that I covered this team the majority of my 11-year career, and I want to get away from it so bad. But there's an influx of Georgia cats on the Philadelphia Eagles and everything. It must be that bad juju I put out in the air. But anyway, this cat, Jalen Walker here, very much like a Nolan Smith, The Georgia Bulldogs move him off ball. He'll play on the line of scrimmage. He'll play in a mug position. He'll mug up in the A gap. He'll do a lot of different shit, and they used him in the Texas game to kind of spy Quinn Ewers on certain occasions right here. Look at this right here. Right? You see him? He's just going to mirror and mimic whatever Quinn Ewers tries to do, and they flush him to the middle of the field, and you see what happens, right? They kind of took a wide approach right here, almost let him get outside, though, right? They didn't, right? So he's not Jayden Daniels, so you don't have to worry about that. He's probably not going to beat any of these guys to the outside like that anyway. But if you have that with it and you force him to get to the middle of the field, you got an athlete like this, Jalen Walker or Nolan Smith, nasty. Absolutely nasty. But I buried the lead. For that to happen, you need multiple edge players on the field at the same time, meaning more than two. So if you bring in Jalix Hunt, you bring in Bryce Huff or whomever like that, you'll still have your edge pass rushers, and then you'll have your off-ball linebacker. And that can let Zach Bond be dedicated to coverage. We know he's one of the better coverage linebackers out there, if there's a such thing. And you would still have Nolan Smith free to make sure that Jayden Daniels doesn't gash. See, they lining him up at edge as well. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I don't really want any more Georgia players on the Philadelphia Eagles, but if they could get Jalen Walker, I'll make an exception here. So the way they use this cat is definitely how you could use Nolan Smith, even in regular games, right? This guy is just nasty, and it's just a great way to play somebody like that with that athleticism. You don't just keep that athleticism out on the edge. Everybody knows you want your more athletic people to be up the middle because they get to work sideline to sideline. So having him do that and still be out there on the edge to be able to make plays out on space and out on the ball, I think it'd be worth his weight in gold. You just pretty much make Nolan Smith the defensive weapon that he is. You use his athleticism and his traits to be able to work those stunts and wraps. He could green dog blitz, of course, work off the edge and then be a spy. You dedicate or dictate to the offense what you want to have happen by using a guy like Nolan Smith in this manner right here. You see him getting the pressure right there, forcing an errant throw. Come on, you guys got to let me know what you think about the box and one, and what else do you do to try to at least, how do you say this? At least dampen the effect of someone like Jayden Daniels, because I'm pretty sure he's going to get his. It's going to be impossible to shut a guy like that down. He has some really good weapons around him as well, some guys who can actually run. He has some running back that's very physical, and they have a pretty good scheme that they've built as well there under Cliff Kingsbury. So let me know, all right? Make sure you headed on over to BetUS to get that 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit, 125% on your next two. 24/7 customer support, 24-hour payouts, the whole nine. Prop builders are extra fun in the playoffs. Get to work that scenario as the situation goes. Parlays as well, entering multiple bets within the same contest to level up for even more winning. You already know how that goes. So enter the promo code YouTube150 and you can get to playing and having some fun over at BetUS. 150% sign up bonus on your first deposit, 125% on your next two for new customers, up to $5,000 with 10% gambler's insurance. All right, shouts to Brewery Town, Strawberry Mansion, King Sesson, Overbrook, Kensington, the whole nine. Let's get it.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.